What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Worker on Pure Sports, back again with another professional fighter. This week, we have UFC fighter Roque Martinez. What's going on, Rogue?
Man, not much. Just relaxing. It's a Saturday here in Guam,
Sweet.
so
Yeah, so we had, it's a little 14-hour time difference, so appreciate everybody for, sticking with us here. Um, and I do appreciate you coming on the show, taking some time out of the day. I really appreciate that. So thank you. To start off, thank you very much.
no, thanks for having me.
All right, so I know I haven't been here in probably been about 2 weeks, but you know the deal. Every other Friday we have a new fighter. I'm very happy to have Rogue here, so we're just going to run through some questions and send some chat questions in if you have any, and I'll be sure to ask them. So first question is that I ask every question. I'm always interested to hear how each fighter got into MMA. What was the original reason, or how did you originally start in the MMA world?
Man, I like growing up. I've always competed in sports, wrestling. Started wrestling in junior high. Good friend of mine was a boxer, so I was kind of around boxing a lot. And then after high school, a couple of my friends wanted to join up at AMC in Washington under Matt Hume. You know, he had his it was more like an amateur class, MMA class, and yeah, they got me to join, and before you knew it, I was the last friend that was still going. Everyone else kind of just dropped off, and Matt Hume came up to me one day and asked if I wanted to try an amateur fight, and at the time, I never really, before I started fighting, I never thought I would compete in MMA. It wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna be an MMA fighter, you know. I just trained just because I wanted to just learn and stuff like that. Never thought I would compete, and tried my first amateur fight in 2005, I think, and since then I've been hooked, you know. I haven't stopped fighting since then. So yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I know you've
Yeah.
been working really hard to get where you are right now. So tell me a little bit about what it was like when you got that call, the first fight in the UFC. Got the call. Working finally. All your hard work pays off. It kind of feels like. So what was it like when you essentially got that call?
Yeah, man, it was definitely a lot of emotion there. You know, like at the time I had gotten that call, I want to say that yeah, it was about 15 years of competing, and so I've been down every like I took the long road, you know, like it wasn't like I had a few fights and got in or whatever. I had a really long road. I competed a lot in the Asia region, so it was just yeah, man, a lot of emotions, and it was a cool thing to get the call, but at the same time too, it was a hectic situation as well because it was on like a 3 4 day notice, and I had to fly all the way out to Vegas from Guam. So it was just, I tell everybody that week was probably the craziest week I've ever had in my life with just, I mean, you get your call for the UFC, and then once that settles in, I'm like literally like throwing clothes in my washer to pack it all up to get it ready to fly out and make a flight. And shoot, the funniest part was even I forgot my toothbrush, like it was crazy, man. But I wouldn't change anything for sure. That was definitely a good experience too.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I give a little more respect to the guys that have put in all the work, the hard work, rather than all the time you put in eventually to get to the highest stage. I definitely appreciate what you guys have done, and the people that work their ass off like you and a lot of the fighters I've had on the show. I really do. It just means a little more, even to me, just watching. It means a little more to watch you, finally get there and whatnot. But I know you mentioned so you're from Guam. So what is it like fighting for? Obviously they're very happy with you fighting from Guam. I know you always walk out with the flag as well. But what is it like training and living in the small island of Guam? And talk a little bit about leading up to the fight, during the fight camp. Do you normally train in Guam and then a week earlier come over? I know that was a different circumstance that you were just mentioning, but talk me a little bit through that.
Yeah, so for me, all my training camps have been on Guam, and you know, it, it can be a bit of a struggle to get training partners. especially heavyweights, so it's something that I need to work on soon once I get through. I got a surgery next month, but once I get through that, I'm gonna kind of figure out whether I'll be continuing my training camps here or going off island, So, but I just love training on Guam for the most part. I love being home. It's to me, like it's like you have all these hard training days, and it's personally, I like it when you're just home and you're in the comfort of your home, your island, and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, it can be a struggle with training partners and stuff like that. And so we'll see in the near future. I'll be deciding whether I'll go be doing like training off island or continue it here. And yeah, also like you said, training here, I do have to go out. I try and go out like I want to say a week at minimal, a week before the fight, just because the time difference, to acclimate and all that stuff. It's a pretty big time difference, when I'm fighting stateside like Vegas. Uh, so yeah. But other than that, man, I love training on Guam at home.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, if you're in Jersey, I got some heavyweight training partners. Don't worry.
Oh, nice, right on. I'll have to
Um,
remember that.
yeah, for sure. Close friends with Corey Anderson and their whole camp over here, so I'm sure
Oh,
they
nice.
do
Yeah,
definitely have a lot of big guys. So I could
yeah,
definitely
right
mention your
on.
name, whatnot, but obviously far away. But I'm just saying. Um, I know you did mention you have another surgery, and I'm pretty sure you just had a surgery. So obviously, health is your first priority. But tell me, a little bit about the surgeries, and then afterwards, I know obviously I've been following you on social media, and you're definitely motivated to get back in that cage. So if you had a target return day, maybe even a fighter you're interested in fighting, someone in the chat just wrote, "We need Rogue versus Tui Vasa."
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm going through it was kind of like I had like a stomach and colon issue, and this last procedure I had was actually just to make sure that I didn't have any serious condition that was causing what I was having. For a while I was kind of worried like I had some like rare disease, or like worst case scenario could have been cancer too, but thank the Lord, like it's nothing major. So now I just have this next month just to kind of to fix it all up so I can get back to like my normal living, yeah. So, and then on another thing is, after that last fight in June, it was uh my management, Iridium, they told me that UFC had released me though, so I have to or what he was saying is that, let's get a fight as soon as I can, pick up a few wins, and try and get back in, which I think I could do, man. Like I know once I know I can hit a winning streak again, no problem. And I wouldn't say no problem, but I can definitely do a winning streak and get myself back in there. We're looking actually, if I heal up pretty fast from my surgery, which I usually do, I want to try and fight like December, maybe early January, and fight as much as I can now that I'll be healthy and I can just focus on all my training and fighting, and then just make another run again. I feel like I have it in me still. People are like, oh, well, you're kind of getting old, but I don't necessarily feel that way. I think it's just now it's just a matter of taking care of your body and limiting the injuries. And so yeah, I definitely want to try and get a fight by December, and hopefully I'll get some news soon, with Iridium and Jason House.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Don't let anybody talk you out of it. Do whatever you want to do. Don't let anybody talk you out of fighting. I've
Oh
seen.
yeah.
I'm just saying. What I what I say doesn't really mean anything either. But I've seen the Twitter warriors, Instagram warriors, and man, they just drive me crazy. But you had a great
Yeah.
fight, the last fight versus Josh Parisian. I mean, split decision, could have went either way. You kept going forward. You arguably won that fight.
Yeah. I felt like I won, as far as I was throwing, I thought I won, but at the same time, man, it's one of those things that you can just really never leave it to the judges anymore, you know. And
True.
I felt like that since like a while ago, you know. So it's and you know, Josh is a great guy, you know. So like I don't take anything away from him, man. He's tough too, man. He took some damage in the fight. Uh, and but you know, he stuck in there. He was hard to take out. And I went into that fight with I wanted to finish him, you know, and I felt like a few shots I threw in there would have put a lot of people down and or would have wore him down till I could finish him. But he second round he came out pretty, you know, pretty strong and trying to neutralize me from my striking and control. So he did a really good job on taking it and coming at me. So but yeah, it's definitely one I wish I would have got the nod from the judges. But you know that it's just how it goes, and how you just learn, man. You just gotta fight as hard as you can for the finish, man. You know, as easy as it sounds, I mean, it's hard, but man, you gotta get those finishes nowadays. I've seen some crazy freaking decisions too, and I'm
Oh
like, man,
yeah.
I can imagine how they feel, you know.
Oh
But
yeah.
that's the fight game,
Oh,
right? Like, I mean, when are they gonna do something about it? You just don't know. I don't know, man. Crazy.
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I literally probably watch all the fights almost every week. I watch the fights, you know, and you're 100% right. There's on a given week, almost every week, there's a bad decision by the judges. But you're exactly right. What can you do about it except for you? I mean, you went for that finish, as you mentioned. A lot of people wouldn't be able to hold up in there the way Josh did. But kudos to both of you. That was an awesome fight for sure.
Thank
Um,
you, thank you.
and then here's a couple fun questions before I let you get out of here. So, do you have any superstitions, like fight day or fight week superstitions?
Um, Not necessarily. I think one thing that people will find interesting and it's a little unorthodox is the night before I fight, I do have like a couple beers. So
Yeah,
I love like people are like, well, you drink beer? Like not nothing to get like drunk, you know? Like I'll drink a couple and it just kind of helps me uh you know, ease the nerves and I sleep pretty good, you know? And I've just been doing that for years now. Um and yeah, I don't know, for some reason I'll like have a couple beers, get some really good sleep, wake up feeling good and ready to fight. So I haven't really changed it since like 2000. I want to say I started doing that like 2014 or 15.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
a little
to each his
different, but
own.
yeah. Yeah,
To
yeah.
each his own. Yeah, I remember I was in Vegas for one of Corey's fights, and he kind of did the same thing. We went out the night before, and he wanted to stay up as late as he could to I guess sleep in the next day and be ready. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay, so one of the show followers sent in a funny question, especially with all this Jake Paul and the Paul brothers nonsense. He asked, "Is there's a historical figure, celebrity, or politician you would enjoy fighting?"
Um, Shoot, that's a good question. Um,
Yeah, one guy said Sydney Outlaw from Bellator. He said the guy from what was that show on FX? I can't believe I'm forgetting the name of the show. But he said one of the guys from a show. A couple people said the president. A couple, we got a lot of different answers.
yeah. Well, you know, I wouldn't say I have anyone specific, but I've seen like, you know, with the whole Jake Paul thing and stuff, like I've seen like now you have all these other professional athletes and other entertainers now who all of a sudden are thinking, you know,
Yeah, they
like
could fight.
they can compete in boxing, you know, and like for me, I'm like, man, I'll fight like any of those guys who no one specifically, but if they think they know fighting, you know what I mean? Like that'd be fun to fight somebody who's talking all that mess that they can do it without really knowing what it's like to be in an actual professional fight, you know? So
Absolutely.
yeah, I mean that'd be fun.
That would definitely be fun for you. You would whoop them. One of the comments, Dave Ramos, dude crushes beers night before his fight. How can you not root for him? Appreciate you, Dave. Hell yeah. Um, So one last question that I asked every fighter: how do they get their nickname? I see you don't have a nickname. Any reasoning behind that, or do you plan to adopt one this late in the career? Or
Um, I think with me, it was kind of like it was weird because fighting on Guam and being here on Guam, um, everyone in the community kind of knows me. They actually call me a champ, because back in when I first moved back to Guam, because I lived up for a little bit in the in Washington State. So when I moved back and I was competing, I had won the PXC heavyweight title, and ever since then, man, people just like on a daily basis, that's kind of my nickname. Like when I'm out and about, just here on Guam, people call me champ. So um, I guess you would say it's my nickname, but I just don't use it in my fights. Like
got
um,
it? Yeah,
it's not practical to use it like, oh, champ in UFC. Like sure, he's not the champ in the UFC, but on a day, yeah, I guess it just I never really gone to a nickname just because like people out here know me as that and they call me that. Like you go through my comments and stuff, like the people who know me, they'll put like, "Hey, champ," or So just I guess kind of been my uh not fight nickname, but just overall life nickname, which is pretty cool, I guess.
that's awesome. Yeah, you're probably like a little celebrity over there, and they're like,
Yeah,
"What's up, champ?"
it's a small island, yeah. So,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. Well, I just want to say thanks again for coming on the show. I really do appreciate it. Is there anything you like to plug, or can you let our followers know where they could find you on social media?
Yeah. I'm pretty active on social media. My Instagram, it's Roque_Martinez 86. Post a lot of stories on like my training, especially when I get into like my fight camps and stuff. It's pretty active with what I'm doing on the daily, So that's a way they could really keep up with me. Probably the best way, that's where I'm on the most. So yeah, and just thanks everyone for the support as well.
Awesome. So we'll definitely be rooting for you in the future. I am sponsored by Sauce by Hot Sauce. So it's an all natural hot sauce seen on season 9 of Hot Ones. Celebrities try it. Trevor Noah, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Shaq, Kristen Bell, Juice World, Schoolboy Q. Nothing but good
Nice.
reviews. So as a thank you, I'll send you out a couple bottles. Just send me your address, and I do appreciate it. So another great week, another great guest. Thanks again to Roque Martinez. What a class act. Make sure to follow him on all social medias. Hit the like button for me, guys. If you're not following, follow on Instagram and Twitter. And then I will be, so Friday night, we do have a high stake breaks live on Instagram. And then I'll be back Sunday doing a little baseball video. And then next Friday again with another fighter. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Shout out Roque Martinez. We're out. Peace, guys.